Hi guys, welcome to my channel Commerce Concepts. So in my previous video we have covered statistics for economics, that is part A. Now we will be covering part B, introductory microeconomics. So in this first we will be going to cover the introduction part, in which we are covering meaning of microeconomics. And microeconomics means when we study the economics on a smaller scale, that is on an individual basis, and macroeconomics is based on a larger basis. Okay, when we study the economics on a larger basis, that is we study the economy as a whole, we add up all the individual units. So then it covers under what? Macroeconomics. Then we will be covering positive and normative economics. Positive economics means it is based on tested facts, while normative economics is based on our judgments. Then comes under this, what is an economy? So economy is a place where we all are living and some economic activity is happening. That means in exchange of some goods and services, we are providing the money to the producers or manufacturers or the ones who are selling to us. Okay. Next is central problems of an economy. So in central problems, first is what to produce. What to produce means what type of products we are going to produce or what type of services we are going to provide. Then how to produce or how to provide. Okay. So how to produce means whether we will produce the goods with the help of labor or with technological machineries, something like that, or with both labor and technology. Okay. Then for whom to produce, that means for what type of customers we are going to produce. A customer can be a business entrepreneur as well. So the manufacturer will produce some semi-finished goods which he will be going to sell to another business person who will process this semi-finished goods into a finished product. So finished product is for the final consumers like us. So the finished products is being produced by the another business person. Okay. Next is opportunity cost. So opportunity cost is basically suppose we have two products, wheat and rice. So to gain 2 units of wheat or to use 2 units of wheat, we have to give up 1 unit. We have to give up 1 unit of our rice. So this 1 unit of rice is the opportunity cost for gaining 2 units of wheat. Okay. Next is unit 5, that is consumers equilibrium and demand. So now we will going to cover the economics from the point of view of consumers. So in consumer equilibrium, first we will be covering what is meaning of utility. Utility means the want satisfying power of a commodity. Okay, that means whenever we purchase anything, we actually see the utility of it, means the want satisfying power. If we are purchasing any pencil or pen, so we will see that how much it is useful to us, whether it will give us the satisfaction or not. Our satisfaction can be dependent on certain determinants or certain factors like its longevity, its usage, the flow of pen, the ink of pen. Okay, so we will see everything. We will take into consideration every factor, and then we will see that whether it provides us the utility or not. Then utility has two approaches. First one is cardinal approach and the second one is ordinal approach. So the first one is cardinal approach. Under cardinal approach, we are going to study marginal utility, law of diminishing marginal utility, and conditions of consumers equilibrium using marginal utility analysis. Okay. So why it is cardinal approach? In this we are actually measuring our utility level, means our satisfaction level. So to measure, in order to measure anything, we always give some standard units for the measurement. Okay. Like for example, if we are we are purchasing wheat. So for purchasing 2 kilograms of wheat, we are giving some money. So this 2 kilograms, this kilogram is a standard unit of measuring a wheat or a rice. So like that, the for measuring the utility, utile is the standard unit which the economists has suggested. Okay. Next is indifference curve analysis. So in indifference curve analysis, we basically focus on the diagrammatic representation of our satisfaction level. Diagrammatic representation. Okay. So here we will be covering what is budget set and what is budget line. Then we will be covering preference of the consumers. Preference of the consumers means whether we are preferring commodity A, or we are preferring commodity B, or we are preferring commodity C or D, like that. Okay. And conditions of equilibrium under indifference curve analysis. Like we are here we are using marginal utility analysis. Here we will be using conditions of consumer equilibrium using indifference curve analysis. Next is, as we are seeing it from the point of view of our customers, so customers always demand for a product or service. Okay, so we will be covering the definition of demand, then we will be covering what is market demand, then we will see the determinants, which determinants means the factors which determine our demands. Okay, then we will be covering demand schedule, demand curve and its slope. So generally the demand curve depends on the law of demand. Law of demand means when price increases, quantity demanded decreases. Okay. So as the price, suppose we are purchasing onions, okay, and onions is of rupees 100, and for 100 rupees we are getting suppose 2 kg. Okay, and if the prices decrease 80, then we will be purchasing 4 kg, suppose. Okay, so price here is decreasing from 100 to 80, but our quantity is increasing from 2 to 4. Okay. So there is a negative relationship between the price and the quantity. That's why our demand curve is always sloped negatively. Then we will be covering movement along and shifts in the demand curve. So movement along means if we are shifting upwards or downwards, we will be studying it in movement along. And the shifts means if this curve, suppose this is a AA curve, okay, if this AA curve shifts to A1 curve, that is shifts to rightwards or to the leftward A2 or A2 curve, then what is the implications, what is the effects, all we will be covering in the lesson further. Okay. Then comes the price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity means what is how much the demand is getting affected due to the price change. Okay, in this we will be covering the factors which are affecting our price elasticity of demand, and they will and after that we will be measuring the price elasticity of demand through percentage change method. Okay. The producer behavior and supply, that is we are going to see the economics from a producer point of view. Okay, producer behavior and supply. So in this, first we are going to cover meaning of production function. Okay, that is what is production function. It is of short run and long run production functions. Then we are going to cover total product, what is total product, what is average product, and what is marginal product, and the relationship between these three. Okay, we are going to cover also the relationship between TP, AP and MP. Next is returns to a factor. Like we were discussing in the consumer behavior, is that the diminishing marginal utility. Okay, law of diminishing marginal utility. Here we will be covering law of returns to a factor. Next is cost, that is how much cost a producer is giving for the production, how much cost he is bearing. That means it is a cost of production. So there is short run cost. In short run cost, we will be covering total cost, total fixed cost and total variable cost. So TC actually means total cost is the sum of TFC means total fixed cost plus TVC total variable cost. So variable cost means it changes, okay, it varies, it changes according to the time or situation, but TFC always remain constant, always remain constant. Okay, for example, in TFC we can count like our assets, like our furnitures or the place in which our factory is built. So that thing is that cost remains constant, but the labor's wages or salaries is increased time to time. So that is known as what? TVC, okay, means variable cost. Next is average cost, average fixed cost and average variable cost. Then we will be studying marginal cost, its meaning and their relationships. That means we will be seeing the relationship between TC, AC and MC. Okay. Next is revenue. Once the producer has made the cost, okay, he in return wants the revenue. So in return he wants the revenue. So in revenue we will be studying total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. So we will be studying total revenues meaning, marginal revenues meaning and average revenues meaning and the relationship between them. Through a graphical representation we are going to see the relationships. Okay, next is supply, market supply. There we were studying what? Demand. Here we will see what? Supply, because supply is the part which a producer does. Okay, so supply, market supply, determinants of supply, supply schedule, supply curve and its slope. Like in demand, the curve is downward sloping, okay, but here the curve is a upward sloping, okay. So as the price increases, supply also increases. Here the law of supply says if price increases, the quantity of supply will increase, okay. So next is price elasticity of supply. Like we were studying price elasticity of demand. So according to price, how much supply is changing, that we will be studying and we will be measuring it by percentage change method. Okay. Next is unit 7, means the last unit of our whole syllabus, that is forms of market and price determination under perfect competition. So in perfect competition means where there is a free entry and exit of a firm. Free entry and exit of a firm. So whenever they feel they can exit, whenever they feel they need to enter the market, they can. Here the products are homogeneous product. Homogeneous product means the same product and the identical products are being sold by every entrepreneur or the business persons or the producers, okay, and the price is fixed, okay, the price here is fixed. For example, the rickshaw pullers, okay, the rickshaw pullers, if we are taking a rickshaw from a place to travel to another place within 1 kilometer, so one rickshaw puller is saying he will be taking rupees 20 and the another one is saying rupees 40. Obviously we will be go with the rupees 21. That's why rickshaw pullers always fix the price and they have a union to fix the price. So that's why every rickshaw wala or the rickshaw puller will take rupees 20 from us, okay, and if they decide that rupees 40 to be taken, then they will be fix the price at rupees 40, okay guys. Then we will be seeing features. So features means all these are we are going to study in detail. Then determination of market equilibrium and effects of shifts in demand and supply. That means in perfect competition we are going to see the effects and changes on demand and supply, which is a bit different than the normal demand and supply which we are going to study. Then next is simple applications of demand and supply. Price ceiling, that means we are going to study here is price ceiling and price floor. Price ceiling means the top value or the maximum value which the rickshaw pullers have decided. So for example, if they have decided that maximum we can take rupees 20, so this 20 is what the price ceiling and the price floor. All this will be covered under the lessons which I will be covering soon, which we will be starting soon. Okay, so thank you for watching my video. If you like it, please share and subscribe it and press the bell icon as well, so you can get the notifications for all the videos which we are going to upload soon. Thank you.